Welcome back. Today we're going to continue talking about the House of Representatives, focusing today with the function and rules and the members of the House, as well as the legislative process. So starting with function and rules, most rules in the House of Representatives are based on precedent, and that was a vocabulary term. If you remember, precedent is a past example or a guideline upon which future decisions are made. So since most of the rules are based on precedent, we can assume that most of the rules are based on things that worked well in the past for the House of Representatives. Rules in the House are quite strict compared to those in the Senate, and I want you to think about a difference between the House and the Senate and think about why rules might be so much more strict than they are in the Senate. And I'll come back and answer that question in a minute. Moving on then to leadership. We have the Speaker of the House, and that person is the leader of the House of Representatives. He is also third in line for the presidency, and we'll talk about that later on. But the current Speaker of the House is Paul Ryan, and he is a Republican. Now, since the Speaker of the House is a Republican, if you didn't already know this, this would tell you that the Republican Party has the majority in the House of Representatives, because the majority party can choose the Speaker of the House. And Paul Ryan has only been the Speaker for a few months. The Speaker before him was John Boehner, and I think we probably talked about that last semester, how he resigned from the House. Next, we have the majority leader, and that person is Kevin McCarthy. He is also a Republican. Republicans have the majority in the House of Representatives. His job is kind of like to be the assistant to the Speaker of the House. His job is to push his party's bills through the House, try to help make sure that members of their party know about important bills. We also have the minority leader, who is Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi is a Democrat. She is the minority leader, which tells us that there are less Democrats in the House than there are Republicans. And her job as the minority leader is basically the same as the majority leader, only working for her party. And then I have the minority and majority whips. The minority whip is responsible for, just as the majority whip is, for whipping up votes, which means that they're responsible for making sure that members of their party are present and are voting on important bills. Next, we have committees, and committees, just in general, are small groups of people that organize to get something done. And committees are extremely important in the House of Representatives, and they're very important for the same reason that rules are very strict in the House. And that's just because there are so many people in the House of Representatives. If 435 congressmen decided that they were each going to individually work on something, it's not going to be very efficient. So committees are extremely important in the House. One of the most important committees in the House of Representatives is the Rules Committee. And the Rules Committee it serves as something called the traffic officer. And that basically means that if a bill is going to reach the House floor for debate or for voting, it has to go through the Rules Committee. So if the Rules Committee is really in favor of a specific bill from the Republican Party, let's say, that bill is really going to be pushed through the Rules Committee very quickly. Moving on then to lawmaking in the House of Representatives. And this is the lawmaking in Senate follows kind of the same process. However, a difference here is with the first step, the introduction of the bill. Bills are placed in the hopper by a representative. In the Senate, all you have to do is just introduce your bill to the leader. Not the case here in the House. Bills are placed into a hopper by a representative, which is this large wooden box. And I'll show you that in just a minute. The next step is committee action, and a lot of the discussion, a lot of the progress on the bill is made in this committee action step. So here, committees are going to discuss and vote on bills. Calendars. If the bill survives the committee process, it's placed on one of 5 calendars. We have the union calendar, and that includes bills that deal with money, which is probably going to be most of the bills in the House of Representatives. Next, we have the House calendar, and this includes other bills other public bills that don't deal with money. Probably a small percentage of bills get placed on there. Next, we have the private calendar, which includes bills that deal with individual people or places. Then we have the consent calendar, and this includes bills that are given unanimous consent in committees, which is probably, again, a small percentage of bills. And last, we have the discharge calendar, and this includes bills that survive the committee process without the consent of the chairperson. So basically, the leader of that committee doesn't like the bill, but the bill passes anyway. And then last, once bills have made it through the committee process, they're placed on the calendar, and then they're discussed in front of the entire House of Representatives, and then they're voted on. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there's the picture of the hopper. It's just a big box. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there for today. If you have any questions, let me know.